welcome to another episode of the Yankified podcast. What's up, Donald? Coming up here, talking more about the Yankees trade deadline. Everybody, hit the like button, sub up, share up, do all the good stuff. Let's continue to get the algorithm up. Let's continue to get the likes up. I do notice that we get plenty of views on Yankified, but not enough likes. So if everybody could please hit that like button, and I'll continue to remind you throughout the show. But yeah, we want to get the algorithm up. Okay, everybody, how is everybody's evening going on a night off blessedly from Yankee baseball? But we do really need to talk about Brian Cashman and his vision for the Yankees, because genuinely, it's not clear. It's not clear what the Yankees' vision is moving forward. It just isn't clear. Like, where are we going, guys? Like, where are we going as an organization? Where are we going as a franchise? Like, what is it that we're aiming to do? Because it just is not clear. Like, what is their strategy? Like, is their goal to win a World Series? Because it doesn't seem like that's really remotely a possibility. Okay, let's be honest. Like, their actions do not befit a team that look like they're trying to win a championship. It just doesn't look like that. The way that they kind of dip their toes in the water, but they don't really go all the way in. They really haven't gone all the way in a while. Like, what is it that they're aiming to achieve? Like, what is their strategy? What is their roster strategy? What is it that they're trying to do? Like, these are hypothetical questions, but it genuinely is not clear to me what they are trying to achieve on an annual basis. Like, with the way that they manage their roster, with their roster decisions, with the deadlines, it just isn't clear. Like, you look at this roster, and it's fairly disastrous. Okay, it's a disastrous roster for a team that supposedly wants to win a championship. But there are some serious offensive issues going on, and it goes beyond Aaron Judge and Stan being injured. Because here's some crazy statistics for you guys. Okay. All right, we've got Impeach Mall in the chat. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining. John the Beagle Dad, what's good? Hello, guys. Yep, good to see you too, John the Beagle Dad. Thanks to everybody that's going to watch tonight. Right, so shout out to Donnie Collins' X account. So here's some crazy statistics here. The Yankees have scored just one run in their last 7 games that didn't come courtesy of a home run or an error or the ghost runner. That came on a Caballero RBI single versus the Cubs last Friday. One run in their last 7 games that didn't come courtesy of a home run or an error. So it's quite clear that they are completely and totally unable to create runs. It goes further than that. The Yankees haven't had a game in which they had more than one RBI hit or ground out or sac fly since July 26th. And none of those guys that did that are actually on this roster anymore. Isn't that insane? How about another thing? How about the fact that the Yankees' last sac fly was July 12th? The Yankees cannot score runs right now. They've scored 60 runs in 19 games, 43 of which have come from home runs. So basically, they've scored 17 runs in 20 days unless they can hit a home run, because otherwise they are completely unable to hit runners in scoring position. It's actually outrageous, really, when you think about it. They're unable to hit with runners in scoring position whatsoever. They're unable to generate runs from any direction. And it was another abhorrent trade deadline. And it was an abhorrent series. It really was. It was an abhorrent series against the Cardinals. They were abhorrent. I mean, it just gets worse. And, you look at the statistics here, and this is serious, guys. Entering Wednesday's game, Yankee with runners in scoring position, shout out to Katie Sharp stats, they're 29th in batting average. They're 30th in on base percentage, so they're not getting on base. They're 29th in slugging, and they're 30th in OPS. Their OPS is 629. That's absurd. Their slug is, I can't even beyond belief say this, 355. Their on base percentage is 274, and their batting average is 199 since June 1st. June 1st. They are batting below the Mendoza line since June 1st. There is a serious problem, right? And it goes much beyond Judge being hurt, Stanton being hurt. It is a big, big problem here. Shout out to the Porky. What's going on, man? Cashman's vision is to is clear. Destroy the old man. Yeah, exactly. Just completely destroy the legacy of George Steinbrenner. I completely agree with you there. Peach Mall, it's a big organizational problem. So those statistics are just beyond belief. Have you guys seen anything like this before, guys? Like, honestly. Like, June 1st, we're now well into August. It's been well over 2 months, and they're last in on base percentage. So that's normally something that the Yankees are good at. They can't get on base now. They're last in OPS. They're second last in on base percent. They're second last in batting average. They can't do anything. And a lot of it is because of Brian Cashman's roster construction. So once again, I have to ask, what is it that they're trying to achieve on a nightly basis? What is it that they're aiming for here? Trent Grisham is a leadoff hitter. Trent Grisham has been disgraceful this season. He's batting 211, and he has been on an otherworldly bad run here. Like, it's hard to believe. I mean, his on base percentage is just 300. His OPS is just 689. This is for a leadoff hitter. His OPS plus is just 92, which is 8 points below average. This is your leadoff hitter, apparently. Like, this was who Brian Cashman had paid $23.5 million to retain, because he just had to pick up his qualifying offer. And if you actually looked at the way that he has played center field, it's pretty clear that he's lost at least 2 or 3 steps in center field. He's taking terrible routes to the ball. And offensively, he can't get on base worth a shit. And that's your leadoff hitter. So your leadoff hitter is batting 300. Batting 200 with a 300 on base percentage, which is awful. 8 points below average in terms of OPS plus. So he's part of the reason why, since June 1st, the Yankees are batting 199. 199 since June 1st as a team. So you've got Goldschmidt, quote unquote, setting the table. He's not setting the table worth a shit. He's been in an awful run. So he was 0 for 5 yesterday against the Cards and took dreadful routes to the ball. And I mean, I think he was at least culpable for a couple of those runs yesterday. Like, he seems to have an adventure in center field now, where he just takes these lazy, long, meandering routes to the ball, and then ball goes over his head, and then he ducked. It's like, what is happening to this guy? And we're paying him $23.5 million, and that's because of Brian Cashman. Once again, I repeat, Brian Cashman is the problem here. Trent Grisham's a symptom of the problem, but he's not the problem. Why is Ali Sanchez on this roster? Why is Austin Wells on this roster? Why is Ryan McMahon the Yankees starting third baseman? Ryan McMahon was an awful trade pickup. He's batting .212 with just 10 home runs. It's ridiculous here. The Yankees have made season-altering mistakes as an organization. You're paying upwards of what are you paying Ryan McMahon this year? What is it, like 16 mil this year? Plus Trent Grisham, that's 23.5. So that's 40 million to Ryan McMahon and Trent Grisham. 40 million. And you're not getting below average contributions from them both. You're getting massively below average contributions from them both. What a horrible use of resources from your general manager. 40 million to them. And you're still paying Ryan McMahon another 40 million over the next 2 years. He is terrible. And he's unmovable. That contract is unmovable. Just 27 runs he's driven in this year. That's atrocious. That is atrocious. There's no upside here. This is an abominable state of affairs here. And then that's your third baseman, right? Then you're looking at Austin Wells, who apparently is quality according to Brian Cashman, but he's only lying to you. Everyone knows that he's awful. He's got a 57 OPS plus, which is about 40 points below average. Just 16 RBI. 16. They're literal backups. They're like third choice players. Third choice. There's like fifth outfielders with more than 16 RBIs. And he's had 225 at-bats. And he's batting 169. And Brian Cashman's like, oh, we're seeing an uptick here. Absolute lie. Absolute lie. He's been, ridiculous. OPS of 557. Like, he's literally having one of the worst seasons in baseball history in terms of the number of at-bats that he's had. This is the organization that we're looking at right now. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. So you've got 40 million tied between McMahon and Grisham. Then you got Austin Wells, who's horrible. So that's 3 automatic outs, okay? Then you move on to Jazz Chisholm. And, he's been a problem all year. He's not focused. His mind's not in the game. And his personality is one that you can't really rely on to be an everyday player. This guy is, I have to be honest, I think he's a moron. He's a complete moron. And his approach at the plate is a joke. He strikes out far too much. And that's another lefty. He was promising he was going to hit 50 home runs. That couldn't be further from the truth. And his contract expires at the end of this year. You can't pick up his qualifying offer. If you do, could you risk him picking it up? Because who's going to want to pay him next year? If there's baseball, and that's a big if. But who's going to want to pay Jazz Chisholm? There's not a lot of teams that are going to be beating down your door for Jazz Chisholm. Not many teams like him. He's talented, but he's a mercurial talent, and he's a talent that is, to be honest, a dime a dozen. There's other Jazz Chisholms that are far more reliable out there. They took a risk, and it's not worked out. He's been awful this year. What they should have done is they should have moved him last year. So he's been a problem. His antics has been a problem. The lollipop has been a problem. The frickin' sandcastle, the attitude, the lack of interest in the game, his lack of I mean, his lack of fundamentals, his lack of IQ, his defense has declined massively. Um, he's just lazy out there. I mean, it's wild the way that he's played this season. It's been disgraceful, disgraceful, and he's very easy to get out. Basically, as long as you don't throw him any pitches like sweepers or sliders over the middle of the plate, because he does like spin. If he can see spin, he tends to hit it out of the park. As long as you throw him pitches that don't have any spin on it, just throw a straight up fastball or changeup or a pitch low and away or low inside. He's swinging at it. He's golfing it and he's missing it every time. Got a big hole in his swing, and he's an arrogant gas bag, which kind of is not dissimilar to the way the rest of this Yankee team is. They're incredibly entitled. But so he's been another problem as well. So there's 4 automatic outs. Okay. Um, Lombard, I can't. I'm so excited to talk about Lombard later on, but let's leave him out because he's only played 2 games. So prior to that, it was Volpe, and we all know about Anthony Volpe. So I mean, so basically that was 5 automatic outs that the Yankees have been employing on a daily basis, right? Who would you say isn't an automatic out in this lineup? Ben Rice, right? And by the way, Cody Bellinger has not had a good year this year. He really hasn't. But he's not been nearly as bad as everyone else I've mentioned. But in terms of what we're paying him, he's not a very good year. He's batting .259. But at least he's got an above average OPS plus and his OPS of 770, which is okay, but just 11 home runs. So he's not really had any power. It's been a kind of a steep decline from him as opposed to last year. I mean, last year he had 29 home runs and 98 RBIs. He only struck out 90 times, and he had a batting average of 272. A slug of 480, an OPS of 813. All very good. And he had a 5 WAR. This year, it's been a massive drop down. He's only got 11 as opposed to 29. He only has 53 RBIs, so he's not even going to get close to 90 this year. He has 70 strikeouts already, where he only struck out 90 times the entire year. So he's going to eclipse 90 at this point, easy. Big drop in batting average, big drop in slug. He's dropped 60 points in slug, and he's dropped 60 points in OPS, and he's dropped 8 points in OPS plus. So he's had a drop. He's had a drop off, right? But I mean, he's not been like a problem, but you're paying him top 5 outfielder money. And as I say, Brian Cashman created this problem because he's paying Cody Bellinger upwards of like 30 plus mil, Trent Grisham upwards of 23 and a half. So that's over $53.5 million to 2 outfielders that were going to have a drop off from the year before. It was going to happen, guaranteed. So, and by the way, they're both lefties. So it was like Cashman's the one that's created these problems here. Austin Wells, another lefty. Jazz Chisholm, another lefty. He's the one that's created this problem of too many lefties and being unable to really get a proper allocation of resources going on here. So that's where we're at with this lineup. It's really terrible. It's terrible. And Brian Cashman's created this problem. So once again, I ask everybody in the chat, what is the Yankees' vision? What is it? What's the Yankees' vision? What is Brian Cashman trying to achieve? like he panics instead of like foreseeing issues. He panics once he reaches an issue. It's like, oh shit, you know. So I just don't understand what they're trying to achieve here. That last deadline was disgraceful. This last deadline was a disgrace, and it's ensured that the Yankees can't win a World Series. It's given us basically no hope because there's no bullpen. There's no catcher. And he's basically acquired another DH that can play first base. Although he's a good hitter, he's another lefty, and he plays Ben Rice's position. I mean, he's a good player, and of the two that we acquired, he's by far the best acquisition. But I have to be honest, he's a first base slash DH. What's the vision here? In isolation, that move didn't really make a whole heap of sense. It felt like it was square peg in a round hole. That's what it felt like to me. It just felt like another Brian Cashman move because he loves unathletic guys that have pop, that have slug, that are left that can hit against a righty porch. He loves those guys. But if you stockpile them, what does it leave you? And that's where we're at. Because he's going to stockpiled them. We've now got if you want to count the DHs, we got a lot of DHs on this roster, by the way. And he's acquired another DH in who we acquired after Garcia. And honestly, I didn't even like the trade that much. I'll be honest, I didn't love it. I thought we overpaid for him. I thought we really overpaid for him. And judging by the way he played yesterday, it confirmed that it felt like an overpay. Elliot Ramos. I mean, he's a fine hitter, but he can't field. He's a terrible left fielder. So he's another DH, right? He's a terrible left fielder. He's actually probably worse in left field than Dominguez. They're certainly as bad as each other. Okay? So he's a DH. Stanton comes back, he's a DH. Ben Rice, he's a DH. Garcia, he's a DH. That's 4 DHs. Can you not see this is a problem, guys? What are you going to do with all these DHs? Aaron Judge comes back. Do you want him playing right field every day with a rib injury? If you see him at all, he's going to need some DH time. Then what? If you bring Dominguez back on the roster, that's 5 DHs because he can't field his position worth the shit. He's a horrible fielder. You see what my point is here? This is a problem. Oh, and Ahmed Rosario, he's another DH. He's someone that can't field. That's 6. Brian Cashman has created this problem. What is his vision here for roster creation? Impeachment. Donald, no doubt you would be a much better GM than cashless man. Judge of the DH soon too. Exactly, that's my point. So Brian Cashman has basically put together a team of platoons and DHs, and they're all entirely left-handed. And he overpaid significantly for Elliot Ramos. He gave up a top 5 prospect and a top 13 prospect. Statistically, that is, I think it was worth double the value to what Elliot Ramos offers you as basically just a hitter and not exactly like an everyday type hitter either. He's kind of a platoon type bat. You couldn't have found a right-handed platoon type bat in the offseason. And so that's why, again, that's my point, is just like Brian Cashman is such a reactionary GM where he's like, oh shit, we don't have any right-handed bats. Oh, got to find one. Right, here's a top 5 prospect to go to acquire a right-handed bat, which I should have had in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? He might not even cost as much had you got him in the offseason. I'm not saying that Elliot Ramos is a bad player. He's a good hitter. I'm just saying he can't field his position. So what's his value here? And how's it going to work moving forward? That's a major question. How is this going to work moving forward? What is Cashman's vision? Okay, so um, let's look at the outfield, right? And I'm going to include Dominguez in this um, because our outfield is a massive question mark this year and next year. Okay, so this year, obviously Grisham, he's your everyday center fielder. He shouldn't be an everyday center fielder. He's below average defensively now. He's lazy as shit, and he can't hit anymore. Great, but he's your every. You're paying him $23 million, so you have to make use of him. Okay, Aaron Judge with bad ribs, and he's what 34, 35. All right, well he's going to need plenty of DH time when he comes back in the last couple of weeks of the season. You don't want him diving for any balls either in case he re-aggravates that rib injury. So that's a question mark. Okay. Then you got Bellinger in left field. Excellent. Great defensive left fielder. Right. So then what does that leave Ramos? Where does that leave Ramos? Where's he going to play? Do you see where my point is? Was he going to? He's not. Is he going to be a DH? Well, you know, Garcia is going to be a DH, or Ben Rice is going to be a DH. So what does that leave Ramos? So you've just given up a top 5 and a top 13 prospect for someone who's going to be on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand what Brian Cashman's vision is here. Like, help me understand it, people. Okay, so let's say in the event that Aaron Judge doesn't come back, and I think it would be smarter if he doesn't, to be fair, because I think this season is a bonfire. I'll be honest. Okay, so then say Aaron Judge doesn't play. Say Ramos plays left field. He's below average there. Then Bellinger, plays center field? And what does that mean for Grisham? Is he benched? I doubt that. So where are you going to play Ramos? You can play him in right field? And then what of Stanton? You know what I'm saying? You got Stanton. You're going to need his bat in there if you're going to do anything. So if he's a DH, what is that? Where does that leave Garcia, who needs to be playing every day? Because he is legitimately a good bat. I'm not going to say that wasn't a decent acquisition. He looks like a good hitter. So where's he going to play? And what is that? Where does that leave Ben Rice? He's not going to catch because he's not been working out a catcher all year. What is the Yankees' vision here? I don't understand. He'll be back in a clubhouse. Okay, stand in an electric wheelchair to run the bases. Facts. What up, Dev Finch? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for joining, my friend. Bronx Bomber 44. Get Grisham out of center field. Yeah, he struggles running back on balls. He has no arm at all. Rather Jones in center field any day. That's right. Then you got Spencer Jones. Grisham blocking your prospects is bullshit. Completely agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more, Bronx Bomber. I don't get this. I don't get it. What is the vision? What of Spencer Jones? So is he going to play right field? Well, he's a better center fielder than he is a right fielder. You're going to play center field, and then what are your $23.5 million Grisham going to do? Right? Then you go Ramos. Chilling. Where's he going to play? He can't play left field. It's a terrible fielder. Where's he going to play left field? And what about Bellinger? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And in an ideal world, Stanton comes back and Judge comes back. Okay, in an ideal world, these guys come back. Let's say in an ideal world, and there's no injuries, and then they're 100% healthy. How is this roster going to make sense here? It's an ill-fitting roster, and I keep saying this. It's an ill-fitting roster. You got Aaron Judge will play right field, okay. Center field, your $23.5 million center fielder who can't run backwards and he has no arm and takes adventures to the ball, and he can't hit, and he's not getting on base. Is that who you want in center field? You know what I'm saying? All right, so maybe you put Bellinger in center field. All right, and left field, what? Ramos? but he can't field his position. Well, then what about Spencer Jones? Where's he going to play? Oh, is he just going to be kicked to the curb? You've already got Dominguez in AAA because he can't field his position either. This never made any sense, and all of this was created because Brian Cashman picked up Grisham's qualifying offer. He never had any business doing so. It was a terrible mistake, and it set the Yankees back. And frankly, Brian Cashman has to wear that. He's done this to himself. He's done this to us. I don't know what his vision is, right? And then you got Stanton that's going to be a DH soon. So then what of Garcia? Garcia going to play first? Then what are you going to do with Ben Rice? Like, there's so many problems here. And unfortunately, none of them are flexible enough that they can play like second base because Jazz Chisholm's a problem. And Ryan McMahon is a disaster. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I don't understand how they're going to try and make this work. Unless they do something crazy and then try Garcia out at second base and then move Jazz to third. But, I mean, then you're going to have a below average third baseman and a below average second baseman and a below average first baseman to go with your below average catcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's surely not going to work. Brian Cashman has created this. What is Brian Cashman's vision here? It's entirely impossible to make sense of. He is a reactionary GM rather than a proactionary GM. Yeah, exactly, Nez. You're right. They need another DH first baseman. Yeah, exactly. We've only got 3. Jade Martino, Cashman's vision will always be that he has a World Series caliber team and that he blames the problems on injuries. And for all the problems, and for that, problems will never be solved. It's sad. Yeah, I know. It is. Brian Cashman is far too consumed with things that don't matter. Exactly. This was the thing. Impeach Mal. Cash sent his ass all winter and did nothing. And that's the thing. What indeed did Brian Cashman do over this past 12 months? Actually, you know what? I can extend this. 18 months to make this team better. 18 months, a year and a half. What has Brian Cashman done to make this team better? What has he done over the last 18 months that's put the Yankees on any kind of solid footing to win a championship? Or, heck, forget that. Just be an above mediocre team. What has he done? What has he done? It's a question for the chat as much as an answer to a question I already know. Over the last 18 months, here's the moves that he made. Jake Bird, disaster. Camilo Doval, disaster. Ryan McMahon, disaster. 3 disasters. Okay. Caballero, he's a utility guy. I love him. Great utility guy, but he's a utility guy. Bednar, that's one successful bullpen arm that he's acquired. 1. Okay? That's 3 disasters and 1 utility guy and 1 closer. That's what he did. That was 18 months ago. Last summer. What did he do to make this team better? Did he improve the bullpen? No. In fact, he made it worse. He let Weaver leave for free. Didn't even offer him a contract. Okay. Did he sign anybody? No. No, he did absolutely nothing for the bullpen in the winter. Nothing. Okay. What did he do? Third base. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Okay. What did he do? Shortstop. he told us that Anthony Volpe was the guy. So that was a disaster. What did he do at catcher? Oh, he made us worse at catcher as well. That was good because he did absolutely nothing there as well. Okay, what did he do in the outfield? Well, he gave Cody Bellinger top 5 outfielder money. Is he a top 5 outfielder this year? No. And then he paid $23.5 million to Trent Grisham. So the only thing that he did that was a success would be Ryan Weathers. And it's not exactly a huge success. He's just been okay. He's been fine. He's been pretty good lately. He had a really bad run, and then he's been good over the last 17, 18 innings. So, okay, I'll count that as a success. That was it. That was it. He did nothing in the winter. Absolutely nothing. So then you fast forward to this deadline, and what were the moves that he made? He got rid of Duvall and he got rid of Jake Bird, 2 disasters. So he was just covering up the mistakes that he already made 18 months ago. Brought in another first base / DH, and then brought in another DH. Great. Great. What is Cashman's vision here? He's done nothing to improve this team over 18 months. And really, all he did over the winter was a whole lot of bloviating, a whole lot of arrogance. And he's far too consumed with the public narrative and PR and less consumed with what actually matters. And that's making this team a World Series caliber team. He's far too concerned with stuff that doesn't matter. You know, I've used this example numerous times. I'm sure some people are sick of hearing about it, but it really bothers me because for me, this really tells you what Brian Cashman's mindset is. So obviously when we got our butts handed to us by the Blue Jays completely wiped the floor with us, right? In October, wiped the floor with it. In fact, wiped the floor with us all season last year and beat us to the division, which is kind of unacceptable, right? But they try and sweep that under the carpet like that didn't happen. Okay, but anyway, we get to October, we get completely schooled in October by the Blue Jays. Okay, and what was Brian Cashman's main takeaway of that? What did he say afterwards? He said, "I love our process. I'm very proud of our process. I will leave it to the masses to decide." That's what he said. So it's just he speaks down to us. He speaks down to the fan they don't care. They don't matter, sorry. Their thoughts and their worries and their concerns are of absolutely no interest to him. Right? He has no respect for them. Okay, so he'd already made that clear by saying that we're just the masses. Okay. But then it got worse than that. He was so concerned by A-Rod and Derek Jeter saying that the roster wasn't well constructed. They were right. And also saying Aaron Boone takes a lot of orders from the front office. They're right. Brian Cashman was so obsessed with that, and it bothered him so much that he had to give them a call. He had to give them a call. And then he wasn't done with that because he could have kept that quiet. But he had to go on the radio and tell us that he gave Jeter and A-Rod a call to give them a piece of his mind. And then spent that radio interview dismissing A-Rod and dismissing Derek Jeter. Not only their opinions, but their legacy. He is a disgrace. He is a disgrace. He is a detestable man. He's a detestable general manager. And there's a reason why so many people want nothing to do with him. He's incredibly difficult to work with. There's only a handful of teams that actually want to even discuss trades with him. And there's only a handful of really legacy Yankees that want anything to do with him. He's a bad guy. I'm sorry, he's a bad guy. And he's a bad GM now too. but he's really concerned. Why does it really? Truthfully, my opinion on him aside, why is he so bothered about what Jeter and A-Rod have to say? Why? Why does it matter to him? Why is he so bothered about having to come out and say we have a great process? Do you know what? Do you ever hear the Rays come out and say we have a great process? Do you ever hear the Dodgers come out and say we have a great process? Do you ever the Red Sox ever come out and say we have a great process? Do you hear teams that actually genuinely have a good process actually front up and say, "Oh, we have a great process. I love our process. We have a fantastic, the best process, win or lose." Because that's Cashman. That's verbatim what Brian Cashman says on an annual basis. And it just seems that there's so many out there that have like a memory of a goldfish and forget all the things that he says on an annual basis. He says these things. And a lot of people just kind of just go, "Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine." It's not fine. He tries to win a PR game. For what reason? I don't know. I don't know why he's so bothered. Why? Why does he care what people say about him on X? Why does he care what Jeter and A-Rod have to say? You know? And we've already heard. Remember when there was people that have criticized this process outside the organization, and he spent time disgracing them as well. He's had all kinds of comments for them. I can't pick them up right now, but I know about them. He's a very thin-skinned guy, very thin-skinned, and I honestly think that his undoing right now is his ego, and he hates to be wrong, and he'd actually rather lose trying to prove that he's right than admitting that he made a mistake and win. And that's a fatal flaw of any general manager. You got to take yourself out of it. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Volpe has been terrible for years, 3-4 years, terrible. Austin Wells has been terrible for years. Sometimes you just got to say, I screwed this up. Let's try to be better. But he doesn't do that. So, again, I have to ask, what is it that his vision is? Because he's consumed by PR. And the way he's constructed this roster full of first basemen / DHs doesn't make a whole heap of sense. Really? And then he comes out and says that this is a World Series caliber team? Where? Where? I don't see it. You've looked at the stats, people. I've read it out for you. Since June 1st, we're 29th in batting average. Since June 1st, we're last in on-base percentage. We're last in OPS. We're not a mediocre team. Those are stats that are massively below average. Thank you, FJ. He has no vision. He makes up as he goes along. Exactly. And it's up to us as a fan base and us as a channel to remind them. Go look out, what's good, my guy, my co-host. Hey, all hit that like button while you're here. Yeah, please do. Thanks, Brock, for hitting the like button. Everybody that's watching, please hit that like button. Still betting fireable offenses from Cashman. Yeah, let's. Do you want to list them just for fun? Let's list the fireable offenses from Brian Cashman. This is over just recently. Duval, fireable offense. Jake Bird, fireable offense. Anthony Volpe, numerous Anthony Volpe's fireable offense. Ryan McMahon, fireable offense. Josh Donaldson, that's a fireable offense. Aaron Hicks contract, that's a fireable offense. Frankie Montas trade, fireable offense. The Joey Gallo trade, fireable offense. The IKF acquisition, playing him in shortstop, fireable offense. Moving Gleyber Torres over to shortstop from second base, fireable offense. And then moving him quickly back to try and cover up the fact that he made a mistake in the first place. Definitely a fireable offense. All right. Any other fireable offenses? How about all the constant extensions for Aroldis Chapman? Uh, the Devin Williams trade, that was a fireable offense, and there's so many. I'm not even Trent Grisham, $23.5 million fireable offense. Letting Juan Soto go to the Mets and not try and discuss a contract with him mid-season, at least to make it clear how much you love him. That's a fireable offense. Letting Aaron Judge test free agency and then being so bad at negotiations that Aaron Judge refused to talk to you and had to only talk to Hal because Brian Cashman fucked it up so bad. That is a fireable offense. This is your general manager. What is it indeed that he is good for right now? Because the only thing that's good about this team is Aaron Judge. And you almost lost him in free agency. And you embarrassed him because you tried to create a public narrative that he's greedy. Now, I'm not a big Aaron Judge fan, but to do that is deplorable. Deplorable. Another fireable offense. Here's a good one. Aaron Boone. he fired Joe Girardi and brought in this clown. Aaron Boone's a disgrace. Terrible manager. The leadership ability of a melted chocolate teapot. He has absolutely no leadership or authority over anything. He just blows bubbles all day. There's but nothing else I can decipher about what he can do. Another fireable offense: having 3 lefty catchers to start this season. Not going to the GM meetings. I can go on. Anybody else have any other fireable offenses for me? And this is, by the way, this is only over the last couple of years. DJ LeMahieu contract. That was a good one. Verdugo. The Marcus Stroman contract. How about the... God. What about having the opener against the Rays? God, that went well. That cost us the game and the series. That was a fireable offense. And that's just over the last couple of years. There's only just over the last handful of years. And I'm sure I'm missing out on a whole heap of other fireable offenses during that time. But certainly those jump out. Andrew Heaney, that was a good one. Fireable offense. That cost us a number of games. Good job there, Cash. And then that team a couple of years ago was like the Little Sisters of the Poor because Aaron Judge got hurt. And then we missed the playoffs. That was a fireable offense, no? It's very hard to miss the playoffs these days. He managed to do it that year. And then, I'm not even counting the Carl Pavanos, the Kayagawas, the Nick Johnson, the Javi Vasquez twice, letting Andy Pettit walk. Denny Nagel. he's a heck of a GM, man. Jacob Petruzzi, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Donald, my brother, better days are ahead. I hope so, man. Not for the Yankees, but I hope so. The only day that'll be a good day for the Yankees is when Brian Cashman leaves. Boone is Sobel on Band of Brothers. Aaron Boone had a nightmare yesterday, by the way, guys. But thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Jacob. You are a legend. It means a lot, and thank you so much because your guys' support for the channel means everything. So please do continue to support us. Exactly, that's my point, man. Probably the biggest fireable offense from Brian Cashman was letting Aaron Judge test free agency. I mean, how you didn't think at any point he was important enough to extend mid-season to break your stupid rule that you don't discuss contracts mid-season. And then when discussing a contract and having Aaron Judge say, please do not leak the details of these negotiations, then Cash lie to his face and say, okay, and then walk out of those negotiations and then come out and make public that Aaron Judge is asking for crazy money or whatever it was that he did. He leaked the negotiations. He pissed off Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge refused to talk to you. Now Aaron Judge was about to leave to go to San Francisco or San Diego until Hal saved your useless ass, Brian. Brian Cashman, you're a problem. Your ego is a problem. The way that you handled that negotiation was exactly the way that you handled the Derek Jeter negotiation, which was also a fireable offense because he had Derek Jeter test free agency. Derek fucking Jeter. 10 times the player of Aaron Judge, and he had him test free agency. Good God, this Cashman is a problem. His ego is a freaking problem. There's not enough channels that are saying the truth. He is a problem. It's really problematic how he's going about his business. It's unethical. That's unethical, for one. It's unethical contract negotiations. And it's an unethical way in which you handle business, especially if someone of the importance of A, Derek Jeter, B, Aaron Judge, both captains, by the way. You had them both walk and test free agency. That's horrible. You're a detestable, horrible little man, Brian. Really. That's the truth. Detestable, horrible way to treat people. You wonder why Jeter doesn't come back for Old Timers Day. You wonder why Aaron Judge doesn't talk to you. Yeah, it's because you're a horrible, detestable little man. And what is your vision here? Because there is no vision. Great point by Foxy here, and this is someone that I wanted at the deadline. Why did you not get Arias? Arias was someone that could have answered some of these questions. But no, you had to get another first baseman / DH. Or a right-handed outfielder, which you could have gotten in the offseason. Instead, you had to give up a top 5 prospect for that. Well, here's another fireable offense. How about refusing to trade for Matt Olson? All you had to do was give away Anthony Volpe. You couldn't do that? Right. How about another sackable offense? How about saying that you didn't need Bryce Harper because you had Aaron Hicks? Brilliant. Dude, that's the only way it works. Garcia fits if they catch Rice, but here's the problem. They've not worked out Rice at catcher all year. You can't have him work out at catcher now. And that's to say, there's no vision to what Brian Cashman is doing. He's like, it basically decides on the day what he's going to do. It feels like on that day, Brian Cashman decides what he wants to do because there's no other way I can see a vision here. Because he said in June, the catching position is clearly a problem we need to address. Fast forward 2 months after he struck out at the deadline, he comes out and says our catching options are quality. They're quality. They're quality, you detestable little man. All right, let's see how quality Austin Wells is. How quality is Austin Wells? All right, let's see here. He's batting 169 with 16 RBIs. And OPS plus of 57 and a 500 OPS. Oh yeah, that's quality, baby. That is quality. If that is the definition of quality, I want to ask, what do you see as awful? Because you saw Anthony Volpe as elite, apparently. And that doesn't even get me to Ali Sanchez. Holy shit. And by the way, Ali Sanchez is a better hitter than Austin Wells, unfortunately. And that doesn't say much for Ali Sanchez, nor Austin Wells. But what is this vision here? There's no vision. God, could you imagine if, I mean, I can't even imagine it, but I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to get another contract. But if we're, okay, let's take away the hyperbole. What is it that he's getting a contract for? What's he done that's earned a contract? Is this team better than it was in 2024? Significantly worse. Is this team better than it was last year? Significantly worse. What is it that he's done? This team isn't good. And by the way, the Boston Red Sox are right on our asses. Right on our asses. And the Rays are what, 4.5 games clear? Last time I checked. And we have to face the Braves over the next 3. I don't see any circumstance in which the Yankees beat the Braves over 3 games. I think you'd be very happy if you took 1 game, let alone 2. So, the Red Sox are on a 30-5 run. They've won 30 out of 35 games, which is incredible. And the Yankees are just a mediocre team. They're just going to stumble along. They're about a 500 team all the way. So I don't really understand what their vision is here. I guess what's going to happen here is the Yankees are going to be a wild card team. It looks like they're going to be the second wild card team. I'd be amazed if they get the first wild card. They certainly aren't going to win the division. I think that's pretty much out of the question. I think basically what the Yankees' plan is here is to see out the season, right? Hopefully to get Judge and Stanton kind of back. And then getting the second wild card, and then hopefully try and beat the Red Sox over a wild card series. I guess at Fenway, because it certainly won't be at home. Is that what their plan is? Or heck, they maybe get the first wild card. I don't think the Red Sox are not going to overtake the Yankees. I think they will. But in the event the Yankees hold on to the first wild card, is that really what their is that really their focus? Hopefully sneak through a wild card series? Then what? It just, this whole idea that the Yankees' vision is to make the playoffs, that's the destination. How do you get there? The process to get there is what's flawed here. The process to get to that point is what's the issue. Foxy, I don't know how much credit you can even give Cashman for Rice and Schlittler. Heard the Northeast area scout was really the one who discovered them. God bless them. I mean, Cashman has never claimed to be a scout. He's always been an administrator. So I don't doubt it. But I mean, heck, even if you give him credit for those things, the mistakes far outweigh the credits. Far outweigh the positives. And then you also have to ask, what is the point in giving Max Fried such a big contract, Garrett Cole such a big contract, if you're not going to go all in for them? It doesn't make any sense to me. Jay Snow in the chat. This team is ass cheeks. Thanks, bro. You're right. First round exit. Completely agree. Will Volpe be our second baseman next year? It's a good question, and that's what we're going to get into next. What's up, Felix Nunez? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you to those that are hopping in. Got Lou in the chat. I'm watching the Red Sox now. They are resilient. They're excellent. And here, and obviously to continue this discussion, what is the Yankees' vision? It's clear what the Red Sox vision and what the Rays' vision is. High IQ, good fundamentals, right? They run prevention, run creation. And I have to give the Red Sox management a lot of credit here. I criticized them for getting rid of Alex Cora. They've been on a 30-5 run since then. Whatever they saw that wasn't working, they quickly got rid of it. That's a sign of a good team. Whatever they saw that was not working, the reason why they were losing, they cut it out quick. And they're on a 30-5 run, won 30 or 35 games. That's really impressive. And by the way, Alex Cora is a far better manager than Aaron Boone. Not even close. Aaron Boone isn't even good enough to lick Alex Cora's shoes, frankly. And Cora got fired. Yeah, Aaron Boone's still here. Fucking unbelievable. But yeah, further to the Red Sox, right? Do they have an Aaron Judge window? Do they have a Max Fried or a Garrett Cole window? No, they don't. Were they the ones that beat the Yankees to Adley Rutschman? Yes, they were. Why is that? Because they saw an opportunity. They saw that they're a team that's right on fire right now. They've won 30 odd games out of 35. They're on fire. They sense the momentum and they're like, let's continue to go all in with this momentum. Right, let's go all in for Adley Rutschman. Have we overpaid? Yes. But at least it's a sign that this is what we want to do, to take advantage of this window. And let's look at the Yankees. What have they done to take advantage of Aaron Judge's window? They let Juan Soto leave. They did absolutely nothing this trade deadline. They have 5 or 6 players that are completely below average playing every day. Did they take advantage of their window? No, they didn't. Did they cheap out on Adley Rutschman? Yes, they did. They're not going all in. They haven't gone all in for Aaron Judge. Not at all. They could have gotten Bryce Harper in. They could have gotten Matt Olson in. You know, there's no vision here. Are you trying to go all in for Cashman? No. For Aaron Judge? No. And I think Cashman did say something interestingly a couple of years ago where he said it isn't really his responsibility to worry about a player's window. It very much is. In fact, that's your duty. Because it's the Dodgers' duty. It's the Dodgers' duty. They're like, we've got Ohtani. He's deferred a ton of money. Let's put a team around Ohtani. We've got Freddie Freeman, a beast. Let's push it. Let's go get Yamamoto. Let's go get, everybody. Right? Let's have the modern day all-star team. Let's go get Scooble just for shits and giggles. We've already got an elite rotation. Let's continue to make it more elite. They're a team that's intent on making the most of their window. They foresee a dynasty. They are a dynasty. They want to continue to push it. The Yankees, they have a generational player. Do they want to do anything for that generational player? No, they don't. And by the way, Aaron Boone, he really outdid himself yesterday. God. If you want an example of a terrible manager, Aaron Boone got far too cute yesterday. Took out Garcia, and then Ali Sanchez's spot in the lineup came up with the game on the line, 2 outs. Bingo bongo, game over. That's someone that classically mismanages games. Aaron Boone cannot handle close games, so that is why he's a below average manager in October. When the going gets tough, Aaron Boone blows bubbles. He's a poor manager. He's a poor tactician. He doesn't have these players prepared. He doesn't lead these players. They're lazy. They're entitled. And he coddles them. He doesn't lead them. He doesn't lead from the front. He's a follower. I have no respect for him. None. I have no respect for Brian Cashman either. And I don't respect what the Yankees are doing. I think it's disgraceful the way they operate. This is a proud organization. Does anybody really care that the Yankees won 27 championships anymore? Because that's about the only thing that the Yankees can claim that makes them an elite organization. The past. Because the way that they operate right now and the way that they're going right now moving forward, there's nothing elite about them. They're mediocre. They've been mediocre for a very long time. They're a mediocre franchise, frankly. Let's look at their development process. Anthony Volpe's been a disaster. Austin Wells, a complete disaster. Florio, bust. Clint Frazier, bust. Gleyber Torres, another organization. Gary Sanchez was on a Hall of Fame trajectory, turned into a bust, and then we had to get rid of him for nothing. Where's Peraza? Apparently he was meant to be our future infielder. He's gone. It's not working out. Brian, your development process stinks. But Steve B in the chat was, I think my frustration with the Yankees is that the corporate Yankees changed their mission. Thank you. From dominating winning to just about being mediocre. Exactly. And compete revenue. I completely agree with you. Couldn't put it better. That's my frustration. It's like they, at some point along the way, they've forgotten their mission statement. They've been preoccupied with trying to diminish George Steinbrenner's legacy. And that's the truth. Because they don't like the fact that George Steinbrenner had a win at all costs mentality and then followed it through. Because they know that they're going to fail at that every single time. Hal Steinbrenner has daddy issues. We know this. Hal has massive daddy issues. You listen to the way that Hal speaks. He tries to avoid talking about his dad at all costs, and if he does, he tends to diminish the achievements that his dad did because he always says that he was so reactionary or whatever. At least he held standards. What standards do you hold, Hal? What winning standards do you hold? You know, because you've never put up with this, and it's sad. George Steinbrenner's legacy is being frankly pissed on by Aaron Boone, Hal, and Brian Cashman, the Three Stooges. His legacy and the legacy of the Yankees, the history of the Yankees, what the Yankees mean to a whole bunch of people, what it means to the city in New York, what it means to baseball in general. Those Three Stooges are pissed on it. The Yankees used to represent brilliance. They used to represent being the best of the best. Now they represent mediocrity, and they're kind of a laughing stock. If we're honest, the Yankees are used more as a meme or a GIF, a funny one, rather than anything positive. Got Aaron Boone blowing bubbles, being bullied by an ump. That's about all he's known for. Got Brian Cashman. All he's known for is him dressing as an elf and propelling himself off a building and then sleeping in the streets. And then you got this guy who's Hal, who's only known for what, being in Milan. This is your Three Stooges right there, and they're pissing on the legacy of the Yankees. Nobody respects the Yankees anymore. They used to represent utter domination and brilliance, and they were just amazing. And now they're just a shallow husk of a team now. They're just kind of like broken. They're living in the past. Everything they do right now is a reminder of what was good back then. You know, everything that they do now is just a reminder of when they were actually good. The old timers days and then the reminders of their good days in 2009 and the previous championships, the previous dynasty. That's what they try and remind us of. They push the past because they've got nothing to excite us about moving forward. They're just another team. And it's really sad because they shouldn't be. They're anything but. What's going on, Haiti? They're anything but any other team, but they are right now. They just are. And it's really sad. Hal hasn't gone over the fact that George wanted his son-in-law to run the organization. I mean, we have to remember, it's a really good reminder of where we're at. And the reason why we're in such problems right now is ownership. Brian Cashman's like everything. That's the problem. But Hal doesn't oversee him. And the fact that none of us here can tell me one good thing that Brian Cashman's done over the last 18 months to 2 years that would certainly earn him a new contract, let alone stop him from being fired yesterday, right? But now all of us here expect him to be extended. That's absurd. It's absurd. It's absurd. I could not tell you with any kind of honesty what Brian Cashman's vision is for this team. It just isn't clear. I don't know what he's trying to do. Why is there no bullpen help? What's he trying to do here? What's he doing with catcher? Why have we got like 3 or 4 first basemen / DHs? What are we doing here? Why is McMahon our third baseman? Like, what are we doing, guys? And then you look at the front office, and most of them have been here since like 2001. And that's the truth. Hal doesn't want any headaches. He just keeps the profits coming. It's really sad. It's really sad, and it's upsetting. And it makes you think. I was just like, I just get frustrated. I try and think about, like, what is it that the Yankees are trying to do on a daily basis, and I can't tell you. I don't know what their vision is. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, you see a team that are so lacking in fundamentals, a team with so many holes, a team that's entirely left-handed, a team with no bullpen help, a team with Austin Wells as your catcher, with Trent Grisham as your leadoff hitter, a team that since June 1st is last in batting average, and you think, what is it that they are trying to do on a daily basis here? They can't create runs. They can't generate runs. They can't score runs. It really makes no sense to me. And then you got a manager who, is outsmarting himself And then he finally gets someone like Garcia, and then he takes him out in order to, you know. And then his position came up with a game on the line, of course, because Aaron Boone can't foresee events happening. I just don't understand what it is that they're trying to do on a daily basis. Like there was a period where the Yankees went 34 straight innings without scoring a run on anything other than a home run. 34 innings, people. Like we have to be honest here. Like, why is this team unable to generate any runs? They haven't had a sac fly since July 12th. They scored one run in the last 7 games that didn't come courtesy of a home run or an error. We have to seriously question what is it that they're trying to do on a daily basis here. Boone couldn't manage a lemonade stand. Facts. Felix says follow the plan, regardless of wins. Dude, I don't know what the plan is. What's the plan? Generate profits? But that's the only plan that I can see has been a success. They generate profits. So, like, as I say, I've been going for an hour and 17 minutes talking about what their vision is, and it's not clear. It's painful. It's really painful. I don't understand what they're doing. Someone help me understand what they're trying to do. And what is their plan moving forward here? So that was just covering this year. Next year, what is it that they're moving? What are they going to do next year? You know, because you've got earlier. I mean, let's see. We've got Garcia. Okay, he's going to be our first baseman, but so is Ben Rice. So I assume one of them is going to be a DH, right? So I assume that means you're cutting Giancarlo Stanton. All right, I suppose. So who's going to play center field? Are you going to have Cody Bellinger play center field? And then who's going to play left field? Are you going to have. What are you going to do? It really isn't necessarily clear. I mean, I guess you could maybe have Elliot Ramos, I suppose, play left field next year, but you can't field his position. What are you going to do at second base? Jazz Chisholm's going to leave in free agency. Ryan McMahon's still going to be there. You know, like I'm not sure. And then your bullpen. What are you going to do? You have to basically completely remake your bullpen. These are problems that need to exist for a new general manager. And you're right. This free agent class is very uninspiring this coming winter. Even if we have baseball next year. Yeah, Ben Rice is definitely in a massive slump, but that's fine. I mean, it's not a surprise. He's been carrying the Yankees on his back for far too long. He's due to have a couple of months off. I don't really blame him. I blame the lack of infrastructure within the Yankees, and it's just due to arrogance and the lack of vision or foresight. Boone is going to have a lefty. Well, yeah, that was one thing that Boone's really pushed for is platoons. Celia says, when the roster's fully healthy this year, have to choose between Jones, Grisham, and Ramos. If Grisham keeps sucking, I don't see how they can keep him in the lineup towards the end of the season. Don't overlook the fact that Aaron Boone loves him some Trent Grisham, and Aaron Judge loves him some Trent Grisham too. Judge loves him some Grisham, and Judge has a massive say. And I mean, and that's another thing about the lack of leadership like Aaron Judge has his say on things like recruitment and and moves and stuff like that. And while I think his advice is obviously useful, but it also speaks to the lack of leadership because he's not a GM, he's not a scout. He doesn't know what this team needs moving forward. You know, he's pushed for Rizzo to be extended. That hasn't worked out. He pushed for a Verdugo trade. That was terrible. He pushed for Cody Bellinger extension. That's looking iffy at best. He pushed for Trent Grisham to stay on and to play every day. He was on the phone with Anthony Volpe for multiple hours. So obviously he loved him some Anthony Volpe, so kept him on the roster for another number of months, long beyond what he should have done. Um, I I don't really trust Judge's judgment, no pun intended. I don't trust Judge's judgment, and he seems to have a lot more sway than any other Yankee I've ever known. Jeter never had any sway on recruitment, you know, nor did he want any. Aaron Judge seems to want a lot, and it's not. This isn't really about Aaron Judge and all that, but we obviously miss him. But I think my point is there's a lack of leadership here. So Judge seems to have a lot more sway, and he's got his ear in Hal, and it just seems to be like a really confusing mix going on here. So we've got Cashman in Hal's ear, and we've got Judge in Hal's ear, and Hal loves him some Judge and Cashman, but Judge and Cashman don't like each other. So like, it's just like it's kind of all over the place. I don't really know what's going on. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. Um, and Aaron Boone holds it all together, but Aaron Boone is a terrible leader. All right, well, I like to hear that. The only thing that gives me is Boone said on Talking Yanks that you have to earn your spot, and it just depends on who's playing well. All right, well, I mean that's definitely something that's positive because by God, we need some positivity in these times. And another thing that we can be positive about. Nobody likes Cashman besides that. That's a fact. Chase, no, good point. One thing we can be positive about is Lombard. Um, so it's been a long, rough ride for Cashman, but Lombard looks like a treat, and that's someone that we can all get behind. Um, amazing, two fantastic games. Um, just I'm speechless, like how good he is. I haven't seen someone with his kind of impact as a rookie in a long time. Like he's incredibly impact. He's incredibly well rounded. He's got a good head in his shoulders. He's cool, calm, and collected, and he's a beast on the field. Like a beast. And yeah, his glove is nasty. His glove is incredible, incredible. Like he's turning double plays I didn't think were possible. I haven't seen a good Yankee shortstop since Derek Jeter. Really, I mean, Didi Gregorius was good for a couple of years. Then it kind of dropped off. But since Didi, it's been awful. Frankly, it's been terrible. We've had IKF, we've had Gleyber Torres, had Anthony Volpe for 3-4 years, and Volpe is one of the worst players I've ever seen. Not hyperbole. And it's amazing what Lombard can do and the Volpe can't. So, and you can already see it in just 2 games. Like Lombard has made a ton of plays. He showed so much more range. He's shown a beautiful arm, um, and a really quick glove. Um, it's just a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And I loved Peraza at shortstop, and I thought he was great. But he's not even near what I'm seeing from Lombard here. Lombard is doing some crazy stuff, people. So, I mean, he's a godsend. Like seriously, he's a godsend. Um, He also has a nice bat. We already saw with the home run. Then he hit another line drive single. Uh, he's making contact. He has a good approach at the plate, good quick bat, speed, good hands, and a fucking unbelievable glove. So, like, listen, Lombard, that's something that we can be excited about moving forward. Next year, if there's baseball or in future years, I can safely say on the Yankified podcast, we have our shortstop. Thank, as they say in Game of Thrones, thank the gods. Seriously, thank the gods. Like, thankfully, we have ourselves a shortstop. Holy shit. And it's been years. It's been years and years and years. Um, so if you want a positivity, there's not much these days. He is that. He is it. He is him. So give him the keys to the shortstop job moving forward and let him ride. It's going to be good. And Jay Snow's got a good point here. Watching Volpe play compared to Lombard was a joke. The fact they let Volpe play shortstop for the Yankees for 3 years is is completely insane. I know that's what I'm. It's like, wow. Like Lombard is literally throwing like fastballs straight into the first baseman's chest. Meanwhile, Volpe, it would be 3, 4 hops to get to the first baseman, if at all, if he handled it, because a lot of the balls would just be going past them. It's crazy the difference. And that's why I don't understand this new kind of narrative that's going about on social media. I'd need a break from the organization too. Completely agree with you, Heidi. Um, he's praying for a lockout. But that's what I don't understand about the organization. They were telling us that Volpe is elite. And that's why it's like, it's disingenuous. You can back the kid, but you don't need to lie to us and tell me that he's elite. There's nothing about him that's elite. We could see it. He wasn't elite. Stop telling us that he's elite. That's like pissing on your head and telling you it's raining. It's being disingenuous, it's gaslighting, and it's lying. You know, and that's why I get so pissed off at the Yankees, because they behave differently than most organizations. Most organizations don't try and gaslight you and lie to you and tell you one thing when it's quite clear that something else is happening. Volpe was staying due to nefarious reasons, and it was nothing to do with baseball. What those reasons are, you could speculate. Whether it's because he was best pals with Aaron Judge, best pals with Aaron Boone, maybe. Or whether it was because Brian Cashman knows that it would look terrible on him, that this was another failure under his watch. But whatever the nefarious reason is, Volpe was staying for nefarious reasons. It was nothing to do with baseball, because if you look at what Volpe's done over the last Yankee career, there's nothing to back up why he's still here. There was nothing to back it up. He's 1 home run this year. Lombard's played 2 games, and he already has as many home runs as Volpe has in 200 plus at bats this season. I mean, you look at the rest of Volpe's offensive numbers. His on base percentage for his career was 280. That's abysmal. His slug, 370. His OPS, 660. His OPS plus, 83. That is, what, 17 points below average? 18? A career 220 batting average. So he's a Mendoza line batter. And we had the Yankees telling us that he's elite. I mean, that's lying, people. That is lying. 2025, he had 19 errors. And to be honest, he was lucky that it wasn't 50 errors because there were so many more that weren't counted because they were trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But his fielding percentage last year was 963. Anything for me, anything below like 990, 985, you need to pay serious attention to. 960 is inconceivable. 972 is inconceivable in 2024. He had 16 errors in 2024. Like, these are inconceivably bad numbers. And you had Boone crying and slamming his table and shouting at you, telling us that he's elite. I've gone through his numbers here. What aspect of him was elite? He had 35 errors between 2024 and 2025. 35. 17 points below average in terms of hitter. On base, the 280 on base percentage. Just one home run. Like, what is it that was so elite about him? Like, that's just the Yankee organization gaslighting you about him. And he kept coming back. Dude was like Jason Voorhees. There's more and more sequels. Volpe kept coming back, and I don't know why. I didn't get it. And it's amazing because you see what Lombard does now. He shows incredible range, and in one swift motion, he's throwing freaking fastball straight into the glove of the first baseman, right into his chest. Literal fastballs. And Volpe would try and do the same fucking thing, and it would dribble towards first base. Dribble. Hop 4 times and then dribble. Like, and we're being told that Volpe's the elite one. And that's why I don't trust this organization. Everything they tell me is a lie. Right? Everything they told us is a complete lie over the years. Oh, we're a World Series caliber team. No, you're not. Lie. Anthony Volpe's elite. No, he's not. Lie. IKF is elite. The best shortstop in the league. Remember that one? Lie. Austin Wells is elite. Is he now? JC Escara is a top 5 catcher in baseball. That was Aaron Boone this year. Where's JC Escara right now, pray tell? Oh, he's in AAA. Okay. So he's not a top 5 catcher in baseball, is he? No, you're a liar. That's why I don't like this organization, because they lie to me all the time. They gaslight me. As I say, there's and I know there's some people that say, oh, but what do you expect them to do? I expect them not to gaslight and lie. You could back your player and say, oh, hey, we've got some upside here. But you don't have to be so bombastic and say stupid shit like Anthony Volpe's elite. IKF is the best shortstop in the league. Like, you're just basically pissing on your head and on my head and telling me it's raining, and that's why I'm never going to back what you say. It's like boy who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an analogy, but it's the truth. It's just like, at what point do I stop believing anything that you say? And that's where I'm at with the Yankees. So, this narrative that's going about on social media now, it needs to stop. And this social media narrative is that apparently we're too mean about Anthony Volpe. Oh, we're just too mean about him. Like, this stuff needs to stop, okay? There's so many people that have gone butthurt about Anthony Volpe being sent down, right? Um, Here's a good example. At fucking Pee Wee Gaskins on X, right? Volpe is a good person who did his best. Whatever he is going through now must be really terrible. Ripping on someone when they're at their lowest is really gross and pathetic. Oh, fuck off. Yankee fans should show more grace. Bro, what? That is the most pathetic tweet I have ever seen. That is a pathetic ass tweet. It's such a pathetic tweet that I think we need to look at it in further depth. What an absolutely abysmal, abysmal freaking comment. Volpe is a good person who did his best. What are you doing here? There's actually fans out there that actually subscribe to that shit. Oh, what he must be going through is terrible. Bro, I need to remind people this is not a charity case. He's not a Make-A-Wish kid. It's pro sports. He's in a competitive environment. Supposedly, the most competitive environment around. In the most prestigious position in baseball. Shortstop for the Yankees is about as prestigious as it gets. Because you're inheriting the throne that Jeter once had. It's prestigious. Very prestigious. So you're blessed. You're in the 0.1% of people that was blessed enough to get a shot at it. And Volpe had more than enough shots at it. Do you know how many at bats he's had? He's had 1,888 at bats. 1,888 at bats. He's had 4 years to prove that he can do it. 4. He's had 4 more years than most people have. He's a very lucky kid. He's a very lucky and privileged kid. Now, he's worked too hard to get there. I'm not saying that he hasn't. But he's been given 4 years. And what has he achieved in those 4 years? Has he done anything? Was he a rookie of the year? Was he top 5 rookie of the year? Top 6 rookie of the year? Top 7 rookie of the year? No. Has he won anything other than a Gold Glove, which was completely non-deserved? But ever since then, nothing. He's been a below-average hitter and a below-average fielder. There's nothing about him over 4 years is worth. Yes, he's had well over 1,000 at bats too many. But the thing is, why have we got people coming out saying, "Oh, he must be going through a lot. He must be in pain right now. It must be terrible." Dude hasn't lost a dog. He's not grieving a family member. He lost his job that he wasn't good at. That's all. That's really it. It's happened to us all. You all lose jobs that you just weren't very good at. That happens. Shit happens. You move on. Be better. But this is the non-accountability world that we're living in. Volpe is a good person who did his best. It's not about who Volpe is as a person. He's not a Make-A-Wish kid. It's pro sports. It's cutthroat. It's competitive. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good people who do their best in the NFL that get cut after camp. Are they not deserving of credit? We can't cry about everybody. Why do I have to cry about Anthony Volpe? Whatever he's going through must be terrible. What are you talking about? This generation, Gen Z is a joke. What are you guys so upset about? Volpe was given 4 years to prove that he was the guy, and he failed massively in those 4 years, and he's lost his job. That's it. He was given 3 years longer than anyone who played as badly as he did in MLB, and that's the truth. I think I would make the case that he was incredibly privileged rather than unfortunate. If anyone, he was actually very fortunate because Peraza wasn't given the opportunities that he was. Gleyber Torres wasn't shown the support that he was. Gleyber Torres is a much better player than Anthony Volpe, much better. Clint Frazier never got the opportunities that he got. L'Oreal and Duhar, those guys never got the opportunities that Volpe got. Dominguez hasn't. Dominguez looks terrible. Don't get me wrong, but so is them all. But Spencer Jones certainly hasn't been given the opportunities that Volpe has. So why is Volpe so special? Where's the tweets about? Oh, Dominguez must be going through so much. You know what I'm saying? Why is Dominguez not deserving of it? You see what my point is here? Why are people crying over Anthony Volpe being demoted? He was given 4 years and he failed. That's just what happens. If you've not been good at your job for 4 years, that's kind of what happens. Right? And I wish him well. I wish him well wherever he goes. Hopefully not back, but I'll be honest, I think he's probably going to come back. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in September. Because the Yankees can't get enough of Volpe, and they're going to hate the fact that Katie's like Volpe will definitely return. Do you know how much it'll hurt Boone and it'll hurt Cashman that their baby boy Volpe is getting pissed on social media, and people are actually seeing that all that Yankee gaslighting was in fact gaslighting. Because you see a proper shortstop, and it's night and day than what we saw with Volpe. Night and day. And it's not to do with Volpe as a person. Like, who cares? I don't care about Volpe as a person. Volpe, I'm sure, is a lovely guy. I'm sure he is. He seemed a little entitled for me, frankly. And I do believe that there is no smoke without fire, and there's no way that all these qualified reporters got it wrong that he refused to work out at second base before. So there was some truth to that. Now, how much, I don't know, but he seems like a snotty, entitled kid in some aspects, but the Yankees made him that way. The Yankees made him that way, so I don't blame Volpe. They kept running him out there every day. Exactly. They gaslit us about him. And as I say, it's not Volpe's fault that he sucked. So I don't have any personal thing against Volpe. I couldn't stand him for the player that he was, but he seemed like a nice kid. It's not about him as a person. It's about what you do as a Yankee. Why can't you play shortstop to a decent level? That was the only thing I was concerned about. I was concerned about the fact that we were being told that he was elite when it was quite clear that he was an incredibly problematic kid in terms of his abilities at shortstop. So, like, it's as simple as that. It was nothing personal, and it's still not personal with Volpe. And as I say, if he goes to another organization, I wish him the very, very best. As I say, he seems like a good kid. And Dev Finch is right. Cash rushed Volpe up too fast. And I think Jeter actually pinpointed that at one point. I think he said that last month. He said that the Yankees called up Volpe and they basically tried to work him out as a major league shortstop on the fly. And so you were seeing the ups and downs and the kinks and the holes in his swing and the technique issues as he was trying to learn the position and learn what it takes to be a major leaguer on a daily basis. And so he says normally that kind of stuff happens at AAA. That's the kind of stuff that that happens in the minor leagues, your minor league development. But Brian Cashman thought he was smarter than everybody, and he wanted to do that in the major league level. and all it did was hurt Volpe. So, as I say, it's nothing to do with having any personal issue with Volpe. It just hasn't worked out. Hasn't worked out. I don't think he's a bad kid. I think the Yankees made him kind of entitled, but um, everything that happened here is the Yankees' fault, and it's not really Volpe's fault. He just hasn't worked out, so it's not personal. So I'm very glad that it's done. Very glad it's done, at least for now. But I mean, I don't trust that this is the last we'll see of him. I don't trust this is the last we're going to see of him. I really don't trust it because we've seen with the Yankees before. They can't go too long without seeing Volpe. They can't go too long. Just look at this stuff. Look at this guy. This shit, man. It's like he's so bad. Look at this. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I'm not seeing from Lombard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that technique is horrible. Like, he was going on half. It was like he was kneeling on half a knee. Look at this. Look at these examples of why he was such a terrible shortstop. The technique is awful. Look at that. Like, he's kneeling down on half a knee there. Wrong. The way he was attacking with his glove out there was wrong. Poor technique. Technique there, wrong. Technique there, wrong. Oh, terrible there. Technique there, wrong. It's just like everything that he's doing is just terrible technique. So I also have to blame the Yankee development team. Why was he so bad? Like, everything here is against the fundamentals of baseball, fundamentals of development at shortstop. There's nothing good about this. This is terrible. And I don't understand what our field technicians doing, what our coaches are doing, why Aaron Boone is not seeing this. Like, why is Aaron Boone not seeing anything that concerns him here? It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. So Volpe is terrible, but it was equally the Yankees' fault. It was equally the Yankees' fault. Because they didn't work him properly. They didn't take it seriously enough. They failed him. It's as simple as that. They failed him. Failed him. And I guess they're going to work him out at second base. I'm sure he'll be better at second base. He can't be any worse. But this is a real genuine problem. The Yankees have done such a poor job in developing him. Abysmal job. Like, the truth is, Volpe didn't trust his hands. He plays back on ground balls, and he was always susceptible to bad hops, and his arm strength was dreadful. Like, it was just, there's so much wrong with his technique, and the Yankees took no responsibility for it, and it was really frustrating. Really frustrating, man. So I fully expect we're going to see Volpe at some point. It'll be the return of the Volpe. Can you imagine? But luckily, it won't be at shortstop because we got one, and he's special. Lombard, you can just tell he's a major league freaking shortstop. He is a major league shortstop. It's as simple as that. He is a major league shortstop. John Donnie Clark says, "Don't count the Yankees out of the division just yet." Nah, they won't, Donnie. They'll be in third place in 2 days. I agree. I think they're going to be in third place. Bell and Judge are coming in Big G after that, right, Donnie? But how is this going to work? Because you got like 4 DHs. Lou says, he came to fill a void. He didn't do a good job, and now we got who we've been waiting for. Thank God. Cashman needed an excuse for passing on Corey Seager. That was another fireable offense. I listed his fireable offenses earlier. That was another one. Yeah, I agree, Celia. I think he's going to call up in September for the extra roster. I agree. Garbage. Totally, Jason. Complete garbage. No, Belling Judge will help, but as I mentioned, they're last in batting average with a 199 batting average since June 1st. That goes far beyond Aaron Judge. And by the way, Bellinger's been playing since June 1st. He's only just recently got injured. So there's a reason why this team is really, really bad. And it goes farther deeper than Aaron Judge being injured. But the Yankees won't take any responsibility for that. And so I'm just saying, when the Yankees don't win the division and when the Yankees go to the second or third wild card, and when the Yankees get eliminated in the playoffs at whatever point that they get eliminated in, they're just going to say, oh, but Aaron Judge was injured. It goes deeper than that. Evan from WFAN is saying the Yankees can't catch the Rays. Well, he's right. I'm saying it. They're not catching the Rays. The Rays are better. Yeah, it's too bad that Garcia sucks at second base. It's a good acquisition. I just don't understand like how this is going to work. It's like square peg round hole. What's he going to do? Is he going to play first, or is Ben Rice going to play? You know, he plays second base. All right, where's Jazz going to go? Third? Jazz can't play third. All right. Then what's he going to do? Is Ben Rice going to catch? All right, so Ben Rice plays first. Garcia DHs. Then what happens with Stanton? Where's Stanton going to go? Pinch hitting? You don't want Stanton to pinch hit. You need to be playing. So, like, it just doesn't make sense what they're going to do here. Celia's right. He's terrible at second base. He's basically unusable at second. He didn't play second base at all this season. At all. For his previous team. The Nationals, who stink. I honestly think Caballero, I'd actually agree. In fact, I completely agree. I don't like Jazz's approach at the plate. He golfs the ball. I don't like his swing. And I don't like his approach, and I don't like his personality. And in fact, there's very little about anything that I like about Jazz Chisholm right now. He also has a massive hole in his swing this season, and he strikes out far too much. And he's kind of an easy out. If we're being honest, he's kind of an easy out. Like it's not difficult to pitch him, frankly. Like his K percentage is in the 8th percentile, his whiff is in the 11th percent. Look at this stat. This is our 50-50 guy, by the way, right? Look at this. Look at this. His batting run value is -9, people. Look at this. Expected batting average in the 6th percentile. That means 94% of the league is better than you there. He whiffs in the bottom 11 percentile. Strikes out in the bottom 8 percentile. You can't do anything with that. It's not good. His slug, 25th percentile. 75% of the league is better than you there. He isn't even squaring up to the ball. 95% of the league is better than him at squaring up to the ball. This is a terrible season from Jazz Chisholm. This is Mr. 50-50. He is an easy out, frankly. He is an easy out right now. Frankly, just don't give him off speed and breaking balls over the middle of the plate, and because he tends to square up on that. But heck, it even says here, so look at this though. 4-seam fastball, run value minus 11. That's wild. So he can't hit 4-seam fastballs. If you throw a slider, look at the difference though. If you throw him a changeup or a sinker or a slider over the middle of the plate, that's what he can hit. But he can't hit a curveball, and he can't hit a cutter, and he can't hit a splitter. So really, he's kind of an easy out, right? I would love to if they got his zone, it would certainly make it kind of clearer. But it's pretty much obvious that he's an easy out. It's as simple as that. Really problematic player. This Red Sox team is just relentless. Have they come back? Because I know that they were losing in the 8th inning. Did they come back? I mean, they're 130 of 35 games for a reason. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back tonight. Oh, they did. They came back. Bottom of the 10th, but the White Sox have scored 2 runs in the 10th inning, so it's 9-8, bottom of the 10th. But heck yeah, the Red Sox came back. Tied it up again. Yeah, they're in extras. It's a really good team. I enjoy watching them. They actually play baseball the right way. And they go about their business the right way. Kind of a non-arrogant team, they do the right thing. And they're basically the opposite of what the Yankees are. So, yeah, credit to them, man. They're going to overtake the Yankees. They absolutely guarantee they will overtake the Yankees by the end of the Braves series. I think they will. Or if not, then by the Mariners series, the Red Sox will overtake the Yankees. Sack fly, something the Yankees don't do. The Yankees haven't scored a sack fly since July 12th. It's been over a month. Can you guys believe that? I can't believe that. Whoa, the Red Sox have tied it up again. Wow. Jesus Christ. 9-9. What a team. What a freaking team. Damn. Damn, they are relentless, man. Runners 1 second. I think they could win. All right, where are we at here? 2 outs, runners 1 second and third, bottom of the 10th. They could just win this. What a team. Can't believe they came back again. Damn. Yeah, we can't score. besides the occasional home run. We're just not a good team. We just aren't. It's as simple as that. It's a poorly constituted roster and too many egos. And I just genuinely don't know what the Yankees' purpose is on the field. I don't know what they're trying to do on a daily basis. No idea. They have no approach at the plate. They just kind of make it up as they go along. But at least we have Lombard. Yankees, Donald will still fold the first wild card, especially when Belly and Judge come back in Big V, in Big G. You think the Yankees are going to take the first wild card? Yeah, but regardless, again, is that really their raison d'etre? Is that really what their target is? Shouldn't it be higher than that? Like, who cares about what wild card position they get, first, second, or third? It should be about, can this team win a championship? And I know Cashman will tell you that it is, and they can, but they can't. They just don't have it. They don't have a championship team. It's a shame. And especially with this pitching staff, they've got a very good pitching staff. I think, Max Fried, Garrett Cole, and Cam Schlittler will stand up to anybody. Ryan Weathers has had a decent year. I'm not a Warren fan, but he's not the worst fifth starter in the world. But I'm not a fan of his. So I mean, starting rotation's fine, but then the bullpen you don't trust. You don't trust anybody in this bullpen. Now maybe you can get Cam Schlittler to have a role, but he's not a bullpen arm. He's a starter. He's gonna have to be working out as a bullpen arm to make up for the fact that Cashman never brought in anybody. The only guy you can really trust is Hedrick and Bednar. Fernando Cruz, yeah, but he's been overused. Hill's been overused. Blackburn's been overused. Chevilla got overused. We've been overusing this, overtaxing this bullpen, and now there's a big reason why they're in big trouble. And now you got an offense here that is unable to score a run of any type unless it's a home run since June 1st. It's been 2 months of this. This is not a World Series caliber operation. There's not a World Series caliber team, even without Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge will come back and hit some more home runs, but it's not going to make up for the fact that we can't get on base. We're last in on base percentage since June 1st. That's a serious problem, people. Yeah, every game's tight as shit because the Yankees can't score any runs. Our starters are pitching shutouts going into the 6th inning. Then we go to the bullpen, and they're getting overtaxed. And at some point, they're blowing the lead, blowing the game, because they just can't possibly. Everybody can't possibly pitch shutouts every single night. It's not possible to do that. The pen will be shot before the playoffs. Exactly. Yeah, no, you're right pointing out Rodon, but as I say, it doesn't make any difference. The starting pitching is great. Very good. It doesn't get any better than that. I agree. But then, what about this lineup? It's overly left-handed. It's inflexible. It's unathletic. What are they going to do? It strikes out far too often. They can't get on base. They can't generate any runs unless it's a home run. And who's getting the home runs consistently? So it's like, yeah, right. Facts, Celia. So that's why I just don't understand, like, what is it they're trying to do here? It doesn't make sense. They can't generate runs. There's some serious problems, man. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have forced it to go at the top of the 11th, so we're going into the top of the 11th. It's a heck of a game over there. By the way, don't Right off the White Sox. They're a good team. They're a good team. I just don't know really what we're expecting the Yankees to do this year. Yeah, the American League isn't very good, but I put the Rays ahead of them, and I put the Red Sox ahead of them too. The White Sox, they're not far off. They had a really good deadline, much better deadline than the Yankees did, so they're going to be right there. The rest of the Central's a joke. Although the Tigers are only 4 games out. They're 56 and 59. They're not. They don't have an awful roster. I wouldn't completely dismiss them making a late run. The Astros, they've got probably the AL MVP in Jordan Alvarez. I don't love the Astros team, but I'm certainly not going to overlook them. So I think there's plenty of those teams that would beat the Yankees in a series in the playoffs. And then that doesn't even get us to the National League, where honestly the Braves are better, the Brewers are better, the Dodgers are better, the Diamondbacks are better. The Cardinals had a better series than you. They're below 500. Well, I think you're right, Donnie. This Atlanta series is going to speak a lot about the Yanks. I'd probably agree, but I think that Cardinal series spoke a lot about the Yankees, really. The Yankees will get no hit tomorrow against Sale, and the Red Sox play the A's. They're going to sweep them. Yeah, well, I almost guarantee that the Red Sox will be ahead of the Yankees by this time next week. I think they will be. It'll happen at least once anyway. Yeah, the Yankees are in trouble. They had a horrible deadline. Absolutely abhorrent deadline. I couldn't make that clearer. Absolutely abhorrent deadline. I think the White Sox have scored again. It's a heck of a game. Really interesting. Really interesting game over there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. I think my prediction is whether the Yankees finish in the first or the second wild card, it's irrelevant to me. They're not beating the Rays. I think they're already 4.5 games out. I think it's too far with this team. It's too far with this team. Look at the Rays. They're 41 and 18 at home. The Yankees are 27 and 25. They can't even win at home. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame where we're at, where the Yankees are at as a franchise. It's sad. I'd love to see them get back to being the elite organization that they are, but it's gonna take a change of general manager. They need to get a new general manager. They need a new manager. They need to upgrade in the front office. They need a new analytics guy. Mike Fishman's got to go. They need to. I quite like Tim Nearing. I think Tim Nearing's pretty good at his job. But the rest of them, like Gene Afterman, she's got to go. Mike Fishman's got to go. Cashman's got to go. Boone's got to go. The batting coach has got to go. Matt Blake can stay. He's good. Rojas, he got to go. There's a lot of guys that got to go. Fast. Before the Yankees can even think about being a World Series team. They're not going to win a World Series this year, I'll promise you. And it's disappointing. But anyway, it's been a good show. Good to talk to you guys. Thank you everyone that's contributed. Thank you everyone that's watched. Um, Everybody, please hit the like button when you get a chance. Anyone that's watching on X, hop on over YouTube, hit that like button. People are watching on YouTube, hit that like button and share it out and sub up if you haven't already done so. And yeah, we'll continue to get the content. This channel is going to give you the cold hard truth. No agenda, and yeah, let's try and get the Yankees back to where they should be as an organization moving forward. That's what we all want, you know. We can always disagree as to how they get there, but we all want the best thing for this team, and I think the best thing for this team is to get a new general manager and a new manager, and it's got to happen, and it's got to happen fast. So let's just pray that when the season mercifully ends, please, it's been an awful season. When the season mercifully ends, please don't bring Cashman and Boone back. Please. Please, I beg you. Please, Yankees. Please. 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 Right? Let's move on. Let's start afresh. And let's get back to where we should be. If they come back, we're cooked. See you next time.